This is the story of a slightly mad Jew, Itzhak the street cleaner. He reigned over an old wheelbarrow and always applied himself diligently to his work, accompanied by an old dustpan and a large scrubbing brush. Everyone knew him. He cut a cheerful, disheveled figure, with an iron-gray beard and two candid eyes like those of a dog. He really did have the look of a Jew. His haunted appearance added a commentary to the spectacle of his persona that was directed at the relentless slayers of the children of Abraham. It was almost as if life had replied with spirit, "You have mocked me, imitated and lampooned me, so here I am." And the caricature that had become a man navigated the ludicrous side of life with honor, combining dignified sorrow and sacred joy in the splendor of his goodness. Rubbing his hands, he was looking out for the indefinable and for simplicity. And this Jew was doubly sacred since he was a little mad and too Jewish to be true. He listened to the people in the street, and while emptying his wheelbarrow of leaves, he jotted down the reflections in a notebook, the doubts, the jokes that are not always that good, and extracted unanswered questions from them. He had clearly understood that all these Jewish celebrations, which governed the rhythm of the year, emerged like a hand from the clouds to nourish their hungry hearts. By means of an unusual alchemy, Itzhak had put his mind to founding his own religion and establishing his own festival, deriving the essence of holy days from his meditations as a disheveled road sweeper. He had witnessed the excitement preceding the birth of an infant from the Passover, the white clothing and the eloquence of the shofar from the festival of Rosh Hashanah, the ecstatic eruption of the carnival spirit from the festival of Purim, the taste of fruits from the Shavuot, the tranquility of the leaves that fly and go where goodness sings to them from the festival of Yom Kippur, pure joy without reason from the festival of Sukkot, and the menorah, the ineffable light of the tree of life from the festival of Hanukkah. And above all, he had incorporated into his own religion that was dedicated to the stars the roar of laughter let out after the Sabbath, a benevolent hilarity that he wanted every day. When he went to the shul, the synagogue, far from seeking to imitate, understand, or participate, he took the unclassifiable emotions of his God from the peculiarities and the poetry of the Jews. Thus Itzhak had declared a unique festival, written on an unlikely calendar, dictated by a star with an improvised tempo. All at once, there was a haphazard ceremony, when the Lord's arm rested on the shoulder of his madman, which was a sign that it was time to prepare the tree of life. Hence the unyielding man ceased toiling, and he prepared his velvet kaftan, a scruffy old coat on which he fondly attached the pages he chose from his notebook. He had called this festival the Little Paper Slips. During those days he strolled among the people, and the faithful laughed as they plucked off the sheets of paper from this strange brother, whose pockets were full of beechnuts to distribute to the women and children. The taunts of those nearest to him stopped, and out of curiosity, perhaps out of respect, each person collected their message. Where do words go after they have been said? Does the moon love me equally? How long does the rabbi's beard grow when he's asleep? Am I the good story? Who weeps for the rain? Can flowers sense us if we ourselves are not breathing? Who turns my pages? What do we do with the whats? How many more? Where have the birds learned Hebrew? One day, when a righteous man was passing, he saw the festival of the madman and collected his message with the hand of friendship. The people watched from a distance, wondering which extravagant poem the wise man had taken, and what would be the nature of the improbable exchange that was to ensue. They were astonished to see the wise man raise his eyes toward the sky, alternating kissing the madman's hand and having an obviously profound dialogue with loud bursts of laughter. Then the righteous man seemed to ask a question because he opened his hands in a gesture of anticipation. The road sweeper launched into a long monologue, rubbing his hands before opening them out as well. In turn, the righteous man embarked on an impassioned discourse. The ballet of hands and words continued for 2.5 hours. It seemed as though two doctors of law were engaged in a full juggling act with the Torah. Suddenly the two men gripped each other by the arm and all at once started to dance. They whirled around so quickly that only one body of light could be distinguished. And our tale ends today with two quotes. The first is, "Or ever I was aware, my soul made me like the chariots of Aminadab," from the Canticle of Canticles, chapter 6, verse 12, and "Would I not be, for my good and for the good of everyone, the only one of my kind," from Itzhak, the road sweeper.